So the true wireless earbud market is sort of absolutely bloody gone mental in the last 12 months. It seems like everyone and their grandma is releasing their own pair of Bluetooth buds. Of course, the vast majority of true wireless earbuds are a bit on the pricey side, the likes of the Apple AirPods Pro. The Samsung Galaxy Buds Plus can easily cost you 150 quid or more, but there are some more affordable options out there. I have reviewed a few here on TechSpert that cost under £100, yet still really deliver as far as audio performance, battery life, the key stuff is concerned. My favourite stuff is the Creative Outlay Golds. Go check out my review of those bad boys. Around the sort of £50 price point though, however, you're generally making a lot more compromises, having to make some serious sacrifices, especially as far as the audio quality goes. But just this week I've been testing out a pair of £50 buds that have really impressed me. These are definitely the best ones I've tried by quite a distance, the Taotronics SoundLiberty 79s. You can grab them right now from Amazon and the Taotronics website for around the sort of £50 to $50 mark, which is absolutely fantastic considering what you get in return for that price. So here's my full review of the Taotronics SoundLiberty 79 True Wireless Earbuds, and for more on the latest greatest tech, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! Now first up, the SoundLiberty 79s basically come in this one colour, and that is dark. They've got a silicone tip, as you can see there, and they just fit in really nice and snug in your ear orifice. They sit in there pleasingly well as well. You've got these little ear wings which help to hold them in place. You've got a selection of those and a selection of differently sized silicone tips as well, so you can fit your own particular ear shape. And as you can see there, once the Taotronics are actually in position inside of your head, they are actually pretty inconspicuous. They don't jut out like quite a lot of more expensive rivals often do. They're nice and light, and I found they were perfectly comfortable to wear even for prolonged periods, 3-4 hours at a time, without starting to give me any earache or anything like that. And they're also fully IPX7 water resistant too, so no worries if you want to go out in the piss and rain for a bit of a jog or something like that. And as you kind of hope, even for a pair of £50 buds like the Taotronics SoundLiberty 79s, they do have full Bluetooth 5.0 support as well. So no worries on the connectivity front. I could literally leave my phone here, go wander upstairs and still get a perfect stutter-free connection, and no problems when I'm out and about in a busy area. Not that there are many busy areas in this corona-ridden time, but there you have it. And I have reviewed a few other pairs of £50 true wireless earbuds. Generally the connectivity and everything's absolutely fine. Where they really disappoint is usually the audio quality, and I tell you what, the Taotronics SoundLiberty 79s definitely impressed me a whole lot in that area. Quite often what you get with these cheaper buds is a really flat, tinny sound. It's just not very pleasant at all when you listen to music. Absolutely fine for podcasts and audiobooks and stuff, but music generally just do not even bother. And while the SoundLibertys are obviously outdone by more expensive buds, they're definitely comparable to a lot of true wireless earbuds that I've tested around the sort of £80 to £90 price point as far as that audio quality goes. I mean, sure, if all you want is crazy bass, then these things are probably not going to satisfy you, but those lows are perfectly respectable. Definitely got a bit more oomph than a lot of £50 buds out there, without drowning out the mids or the highs. You've actually got a pretty decent range on these things. And if you checked out the Taotronics website for these bad boys, you'll notice that they're really bigging up the noise cancelling technology. Let me just point out that that's only for when you're on phone calls. What it can do is just help to cut out some of the background clamour all around you and focus really on your voice, so you're nice and clear to whoever you're speaking to at the other end. And it seems to work absolutely fine. Certainly no problems or issues on phone calls with that mic clarity. Of course, you don't have any kind of dedicated noise cancellation when you're just going about your business, listening to music or whatever for 50 quid. That would be freaking nuts. You really need to be paying over 150, 200 quid for that kind of decent technology. However, I did find that the SoundLibertys were perfectly good at noise isolation. You get a nice firm seal around the ear canal by these bad boys, so if you're out in a high street, a noisy environment, it'll help to cut down the worst of that, help dampen the surrounding noise. So I found that I didn't have to bump up the volume on my music, or more importantly podcasts and audiobooks, to really hear what was going on. So at this point I was starting to think, what's the drawback with the Taotronics SoundLiberty 79s? There must be some big feature that they're missing, and the first thought I had was, oh, we probably don't have any kind of controls on them, so you can actually control your music, whatever you're listening to, without having to reach in your pocket for your phone. But as it turns out, no, they do actually have full control support. Each of these surfaces here is a touch sensitive surface. So what you can do is you can do a single tap in order to lower the volume, single tap of the right bud to raise the volume. If you do a double tap, that will pause or play your music depending on what it's doing at the time. You can do a triple tap of the left bud in order to skip back a track, and a triple tap of the right one to skip forward a track. And finally, if you press and hold, then that will call up your phone's assistant. Like so. Bit of a delay, but gets there in the end. And you know what, these touch controls are pretty bloody good. They actually work respectably well. I'm sure you can't fully customize them, so you can't change around the taps and what they actually do. And you do have to tap fairly hard in order to register them, but at least that sort of helps to prevent missed taps when you're just sort of fiddling about with them or taking them in or out of your ear holes. The only other little quirk is that you do have to leave a significant pause in between your taps in order to get the right action. But I found that I got used to the exact pause that you need to do fairly quickly after just a sort of day or so of use, and then it basically becomes second nature. As for the battery life, again, no complaints from the Taotronics SoundLiberty 79s. I found that I got between 8 to 9 hours of use on a single charge before I had to pop the buds back into their little bundled case. They just slip back in there, they stick magnetically, so nice and easy. And just close it on up, and the case gives you about 3 to 4 full recharges before the case itself also needs recharging, and thankfully it is a bit Type-C USB. Now admittedly the case itself isn't the best, it's very cheap looking, it certainly feels very cheap as well, and the lid's a little bit flimsy and everything, but you know what, for 50 quid, if that's the biggest complaint you can have, it's a pretty damn solid package overall. So there you have it, that's the Taotronics SoundLiberty 79s. You know what, 50 quid before I was very skeptical you could get a even respectably decent-ish pair of True Wireless earbuds for that sort of price point, but these bad boys will definitely do the job if you're on a very tight budget but you want that true wireless freedom. So definitely let me know what you think down in the comments below. As I say, you can grab it now from the likes of Amazon and Taotronics for around the sort of £50, $50 mark. Don't forget to poke, subscribe, ding that notifications bell, and have yourselves a lovely week, people. Cheers, love you.